Welcome dear students. In this video, I'll be going to discuss about previous year's questions of CSIR UGC NET Life Science and the topic is plasma membrane. So let's start. So this is the first questions of plasma membrane that comes in CSIR UGC NET Life Science. In 2020 June, there is no question from plasma membrane, very unfortunate, but this is the first question that I am going to discuss. This is from 2019 December. And the question is, the membrane phospholipid structure in bacteria and archaea differ. Which one of the following correctly states the differences between the two? This question is coming part C question. So this means these questions marks actually 4. Okay. The first option is the bacterial membrane phospholipids consist of D-glycerol. As we all know that phospholipids or phosphoglycerides, the molecule, the basic theme is glycerol. So the type of glycerol here, the first option is D-glycerol. Linked to hydrophobic chains. Hydrophobic chains means fatty acids, that is we call tails, with ester bonds. We know that there is ester bond. Whereas those of the archaeal membrane consist of L-glycerol, differ from the D-glycerol, linked to hydrophobic tails through ether bonds. And the second option is the bacterial membrane phospholipids consist of L-glycerol, linked to hydrophobic tails or chains with its ester bonds, whereas those of the archaeal membrane consist of D-glycerol, linked to hydrophobic tails through ether bonds. And basically the first and second option is actually reversed. The answer is reversed. And the third option is the bacterial membrane phospholipids consist of D-glycerol, that means the first options, but linked with hydrophobic tails with ether bonds, whereas those of the archaeal membranes consist of L-glycerol linked to hydrophobic tails with ester bonds. So you can see here the option 3 differs only in the ether and ester bonds. So there is a mixture of this glycerol and the ether or ester bonds. You have to confirm. So this is basically a direct questions that has come in 2019 December. If you know the fact, you can answer. If you do not know the fact, you cannot answer actually. And the same is, you can see here the bacterial membrane phospholipids called L-glycerol with ether bond, and then is D-glycerol is ester bonds. Now in my biomembrane or plasma membrane notes, this is my plasma membrane notes. So this is actually the book from Lodis. In this book I have added different information from other cell biology book like Bruce Albert, then living cells, Pollard cell biology, Karp cell and molecular biology, and also Cooper's cell. So there are 5 books informations in this note. So I will show you where I have written the fact. So you can see here I have written this all information from Pollard. This is Pollard. This is from here you can see Albert. Yes, in this section I have write down the fact. That is, bacterial plasma membrane are often composed of one main type of phospholipid. This is another information. It is made of one type of phospholipid that is specifically linked. These phospholipids, these molecules, actually fatty acids, are linked with ester linked to glycerol 3 phosphate, that means L-glycerol. In case of glycerol 3 phosphate, when the phosphate is linked with the third position of the carbon, we call L-glycerol. So here bacteria has L-glycerol, that is true. So D-glycerol is wrong, here D-glycerol is wrong. So the second and the fourth option can be right, L-glycerol, that is true. But how this bond actually forms, that is ester formed. So in the second option you can see the bacterial membrane phospholipids consist of L-glycerol, that means glycerol 3 phosphate, linked to hydrophobic chains, that means fatty acids with ester bonds, that is ester bonds. So this is true options. And the archaeal actually have the D-glycerol, that means D-glycerol means glycerol 1 phosphate. You can see here in archaea lipids usually contains 20 to 25 carbon long prenyl chains, that is different. This prenyl chain is different instead of fatty acids. So they don't have fatty acids but prenyl chains that also bonds with ether linked to glycerol 1 phosphate D-glycerol. So in my plasma membrane notes this information is actually added. You can see here different mode of informations are from this is from Pollard and this is from Bruce Albert. So, the correct option will be second, L-glycerol for bacteria and ester bond. In case of archaea, the bond is actually ether and there is D-glycerol. L-glycerol means glycerol 3-phosphate, D-glycerol means glycerol 1-phosphate. And another information, that is, in case of archaea there is no fatty acid, there is prenyl group. Okay? So, this is from Plasma Membrane 2019 December.